I'm it. Yeah, we're back on
Race nice.
No more. Yeah, they're it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep devil. Really good with little beer. That's the bottom. How many benches have I made with you guys? I still don't know. It's supposed to go on the bottom.
8.
Measurement from that's like an inch and a half down, right?
Yeah. How bad are you doing, Dan?
Oh. No, you have the battery pack.
I'm using the power. There he goes.
Yeah. Do these and then switch the battery packs over.
Chris, did you grab batteries?
Can be sad if it's just like use power while you're doing
Yeah,
that.
right. I'm supposed to.
Yeah, Jeff.
so perfect.
I'll take the video seriously if that happens.
Yeah, right. Yeah, best film ever. So excited. I can't wait to see my zits on 3D.
I don't joke about that.
I have bad acne, and even I can make a joke about that.
Yeah, jump in that car. 1, 2, 3.
My name is Shoaib Khan. Some people call me Richie. I was born in Dhaka, Bangladesh. I came to America when I was 1 year old. I live in Hudson. I'm 17 years old. I go to Hudson High School, Hudson Senior High. Sometimes I play soccer with my friends, watch movies, play video games, like regular normal stuff. When I hear the words criminal justice system, I think flawed.
Do you want to expand on that a little bit? Like, why is it flawed?
Like, I don't have like a good idea of it because I never like really go in depth with it, but I watched some movies about it, like, what's those movies called? Like Gaines Army and The House. Yeah, I watched those two movies, and when I saw it, I think to myself, it's really going after like some minorities, like never like rich people. Like it usually goes to like the bottom class, like hillbillies. I don't know how to say it nice. Like hillbillies, like people that don't make enough money and have to do something else to make a living, like sell drugs. Like even if you go to jail and come out, you don't have you can't get like a job. Like you can't go to like Walmart and apply for a job and they're just saying, okay, you're hired, because they don't know like you're a convicted felon and they might be wary of you. Like if something ends up missing, they're gonna automatically think it's gonna be you because you're already a felon. So you don't have that much like opportunities. Like after you get in prison, like the only thing you probably could do was do the exact same thing except not get caught. Also, sometimes your background doesn't like help either. Like some kids watch movies about people and think to themselves, I want to be them when I grow up. But sometimes you don't have that luxury and you see like crack dealers, drug dealers, and you see them driving around like with Lambos and you think to yourself, wow, if they can make that much money and not go to school, I'm pretty sure I can do the exact same thing. So it's not really like their fault, it's like their circumstances. Like I live in a middle class household and I never really met any drug dealers and all that, so I have no experience. So that's about it. Well, the role on drugs in the criminal justice system is a very huge one. After Richard Nixon, that guy, he ended up issuing an all-out war against drugs. SWAT teams go into your house, break it down, drag out people, take the coke and leave. Anyway, they just take it, arrest them. Hundreds of people got arrested because of that. I don't know the statistics, but I'm pretty sure majority of people going to prison are drug dealers because of the war on drugs. And sometimes, depending on the drug, your time in prison varies. You're a crack dealer, you go 5 years. If you're crystal meth or anything like that, you go to life. One of the people in the movie House, he was selling methamphetamines and he got life to prison. It's not really that serious, he killed somebody. It was just he was harboring it and selling it. So all I'm saying is drug wars are really high up there. It's treated like somebody went off and killed a bunch of people. That's how bad it is. I'm pretty sure Richard Nixon's wife tried to do the safe method, getting to the kids before they could do it, say no. President Nixon, ended up making it a huge thing, as in we have to eradicate drugs, we have to get them away from people. Whoever does drugs doesn't deserve to be an American citizen, like throws them to jail. If you're broke and you have a family, it's like ties into like the first question you gave me. Like if you're broke and have no family, I have a family and you're like trying to sell drugs, it's not like you're smoking it yourself. And like the minimum sentence is like 10 years, right? It's not like you had a choice. It's like you have no experience. You can't have no experience to go back on. You don't have a school experience, like high school diploma. So it's not like you're meant to do it. It's like it's the only way to survive. I don't believe you have 2 ounces of marijuana and you have to do 5-6 years. Is that the minimum sentence? Yeah, it's not like you have like Scarface stacks. It's just that small. You treat it like your whole car is full of cocaine. Well, to some people, if you're doing criminal stuff, you know how to fight, you feel more like a man. Some people just go off fighting people just to get credit. Think to yourself, nobody's gonna mess with me if I know how to fight. And if you do crimes and all that, people think you're tough. You're not somebody to mess with. Usually when you think tough, you don't think to yourself, that guy that goes to high school, joins a chess team, never does drugs, you don't think he's tough. You think to yourself, the guy who did marijuana, cocaine, stole the principal's car, beat up a janitor, you think to yourself, yeah, he's tough, I don't want to mess with him. Also, girls like Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Watch a lot of movies like that. Yeah. So when it comes to masculinity and all that, people think to themselves, somebody who can fight, has a bunch of tattoos, a bunch of piercings, all that. That's what people usually see in a tough guy. And so doing drugs, selling it, sort of boosts us up. If you're looking for some food, maybe foreign food, American food, go to Russell's. I forgot the store's name. Sad part is I went there for food last time. Go to your neighborhood Walmart. They have everything. They get the competition prices. If you ever need a bench like this, that's not built, but you get the point. Go to TSL in what's the street? I can just drive here. 4th Columbia Street.
It's close.
I don't know the general area. It's a huge red building with the letters T, S, and L. It's pretty hard to miss.
My name is John Irwin. Yeah. I'm 16 years old. I live in Hudson, New York, and I go to the Bridge Program for high school. It's a modified school system designed by Berkshire Farms. It's for those troubled kids. Scary. There's not really much to my story, actually. I was born in Wyckoff Heights Hospital in Brooklyn, New York City. My father died when I was 7, so my mom moved us upstate New York with our brother, who is in prison now. I guess this is my first real job, so it comes with a good benefit, I guess, being in a movie. It's pretty cool. I've always dreamt of being an actor, but this isn't really the type of acting I thought I'd be doing. That's pretty much it. Besides the fact of being on probation and PINS and, Twin Counties and stuff. Well, PINS stands for a person in need of supervision. It's usually appointed by a parent or guardian or a school system, depending on if the kid is getting in trouble in school or outside in the community. They put the person on PINS before they put you on probation. You need to be violated on PINS to be put on regular probation, and that's what I'm on. And Twin County is Twin County Recovery Services. It's for people who have drug problems, and I was clean for a while, and I didn't really smoke weed or I didn't drink, and I guess I had a lot of trouble. I was just really stressed out all the time, and I kind of hated life. I still kind of do, but Yeah, so I kind of slipped up and started smoking weed again and drinking pretty heavily to the point where I'd like wake up the next morning with still drunk, get a hangover. So they admitted me back there. So I'm 2 months clean already, so I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I don't think masculinity and crime relate at all.
Okay.
To be honest, people just do what they got to do, whether you be a man, a woman, or both. If you're selling drugs or you're committing a crime, there's obviously something you need to get out of it. So it's something that you need, and you're obviously not doing it the legitimate way and just going to earn money by doing a job, because that just takes too long. So you want fast cash, no matter who you are, what gender, how old you are. It's the same thing, you know. Violence. I think violence is attributed more to men, I guess. We're saw as like more the aggressors in a situation, depending on who we are, and the women are usually the voice in the equation that's telling them to not do something violent. I don't know, but I know a couple girls that think like men, so I think even though we have 5% of the world's population, 20% of the world's population we have in our prisons and incarcerated is due to drugs, to be honest, mostly. You know, most of the people that came to America, you know, like the Chinese and the Old West building the railroad, they smoked opium. So the U.S. government tried to find a way to get the Chinese out of the United States after they were finished using them, basically. So they outlawed opium, and that's what Chinese people did. So lots of Chinese people got incarcerated, and then, I think there was, I don't know what the next one was. Then I think it was African Americans that, you know, they smoked marijuana and crack cocaine and stuff like that, and they outlawed weed. So no, because it actually happened around like 1910. Somebody who ran a timber industry kind of, you know, because hemp could do everything that wood could do and plus. So, you know, he ran a smear campaign against marijuana, calling it like the devil drug, and you'll kill your mom if you smoke weed. And so, you know, they outlawed weed and people got arrested for it. And meanwhile, most of our founding fathers grew hemp. And it's pretty crazy because look at what our world's come to. I think the war on drugs is just not even about drugs. I think it's about the certain type of people. You know, it may be a conspiracy theory and stuff like that, but it's absolutely true. Around the 1980s, between 1980s and 2000s, the United States government officials let over $300,000 worth of drugs from Mexico into America to boost our economy. You know, I seriously doubt it has anything to do with drugs. I think it's just a certain type of people. America was apparently built by white people, and that's how they like it to stay. So basically what they're trying to do is they're just trying to get everybody else that worked really hard in America to build this country up and get them out. So basically the pure white people are just using everybody, and then once they're done with them, they kind of just don't want them in their country anymore, so they just incarcerate them. So they're not walking the streets and they're not doing what they want. Well, the way to reform the system is pretty easy, but the U.S. government just doesn't want to do it. See, they put people in prison, and then once they let them out, they automatically expect them to be completely changed and these new type of people, but they don't give them any job opportunities, they don't help their families, they don't do anything. They just kick you out of prison and say, there you go. You know, we give you 3 square meals a day, a place to sleep, and some clothes and food, and you're okay. You're in prison. We got you locked up, but once we let you out, we're going to completely cut that off. It doesn't work like that. To me, honestly, I think after every person goes through being incarcerated, we should give them an opportunity to be rehabilitated and give them opportunities to get jobs so they don't have to go back to illegitimate ways of making money, like selling drugs or, you know, gangbanging or stealing cars, you know, basically what got them incarcerated. Because you got incarcerated for one reason, and that's probably the biggest way you know how to do something or make money. So what are you going to do when you get out of prison? You're going to go back to, you're going to think, well, what was the easiest way I knew how to make money? So you're just going to go back to doing that, and you're going to get caught for the same thing. And, you know, most of these things are felonies. You know, U.S. government, you 3 strikes and you're in prison for life. So pretty much that sums it all up, you know. It's just a never-ending cycle. You're going back into prison no matter what. 3 means guys walk into a bar.
We've seen beat
Get it? Get
Great, I
it?
have one more question.
Well, I think I'm a prime example of how the criminal justice system, you know, messes with young people. I mean, I've never, okay, I can't say I've never been in jail, because I've been there once. But it's, you know, if you start off and you're a problem child, you know, it's just basically poor people. The poor people getting incarcerated and the rich people stay out, you know? So basically, you know, I'm not the richest kid ever. I'm like less than middle class. You know, I'm a poor kid, so, you know, when I was a kid, I sold drugs. That's pretty much what I did to make money. So, you know, you just being poor gets you caught up in the system, you know, because you have to find a way to take care of yourself no matter what. And it's all just, you know, food, clothes on your back, and a place to live. And it just attributes, you know, being poor. Being poor sucks. Everybody knows that, you know. I don't really have much to say on that, but, you know, but basically if you're a young kid and you're poor, you're going to grow up poor and you're going to grow up in the system. That's just how it works.